Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here at the very end of Jerry's Enigma event. And basically, it's a pretty straightforward event. Cars do not have to be really crazy built. Although, at some point, you have to start upgrading them enough to make it through the races. As you can see, I'm on the last lock-in on the last 2-3 races here. And for the most part, I don't think any of the cars needed huge amounts of upgrades. The first two cars, though, I did have them fully maxed, so I might be a little biased here in how easy it is, simply because I have two fully maxed cars out of the four. The last two cars, including the Dodge Demon here, I didn't really have it built up as much, or at least I didn't have it set up with all the parts in. And so far, it didn't seem that bad. Now, at this point, because the Demon is set up as a dyno buster rather than as a car to run an event, I have to go back and probably add some parts. I don't think you need anything more than stage 5 only to make it through. Well, let me not jump ahead of myself here. I think you probably need one strong stage 6 or 2 at the most for most of these cars to comfortably make it through. If you have at least the tier 3 and maybe the third lock-in or the first lock-in fully maxed, none of the relays will be an issue. Speed traps can be difficult depending on how much upgrades you have and which car you're using it with. And the rest is pretty straightforward. I mean, either you can beat the time or you cannot. Just by adding a few parts, the car time changes pretty substantially. So we can go back and take a look at the dyno here. I don't think I can really tweak this too much. I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about it. Yeah, I can get a little more. Yeah. I mean, I don't need like max tune here. I just need the car to basically work, and it should be good for me. Okay, so it looks like 2.0 is fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of the other setups will be better for running better time, but 10.028. The thing with the Demon I don't like is, you know, I'm not very good at shifting it, and I usually cannot hit dyno with it. But if you can actually get dyno or slightly under, you should do quite well at stage 5 only, because I haven't seen any challenges being that bad. Okay, let's go. So this one's a speed trap, 215 mile per hour, I believe. I already forgot since I wasn't looking at what is it, 215. Okay, good. So at this point, 215 should be a no-brainer. Let's go ahead and get the nitrous going, and 228. All right, still kind of rough, but made it through. Oh, looks like race 39 is going to be rough too. Oh, and it got my missing transmission stage 6. Okay, that's the one good thing about doing these events over time is each time I do one of these events, and if I can actually make it far enough, I get a stage 6 usually for the car as the lock-in whatever event I have it in. And you get a stage 6. So slowly but surely, your car gets stronger, and eventually you get all the stage 6s. In fact, that stage 6 there just allow me to max out this car if I want to. Let's take a look at what the opponent ran. Technically, my dyno is better than that, but I'm only running a 10.1 because I can't remember how to shift the car. Rather than torture myself and you watching me try to fail at this, I'm just going to add some parts and go ahead and get this done so I can collect that Viper. What I'm really doing is I'm gearing up now slowly but surely for the Colorado leg of the American road trip. Because I want to get, see, there's my stage 6. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I have the body. We'll pop that in. Body will drop time by like 0.3, 0.4 seconds on these T5s. So that should put me comfortably under 10. Probably 9.7, 9.8, maybe 9.6. 9.6, okay. So it comfortably puts me in a position to outrun that 10-second car, assuming when I go back, it's still a 10-second car. So, and that's next to the last race, basically. So if you make it through that, relays, like I said earlier, because I have two of the max cars out there. All right, so it says challenging. That means it's not challenging at all. I'm going to easily beat this. Okay. Again, I don't drive it very well, so I probably won't even hit dyno or close to it. But even running a tenth or two under dyno, I mean slower, not under. Under means you're running faster, but slower than dyno, I should still be good. So let's go ahead and get it done. And I'm one step closer to getting that Voodoo. The sad truth is the Voodoo is not very good. Okay, whereas the Showdown prize, the Charger Captive, is going to be fast. Whether it's going to be good in live, we have to wait and see. It depends on how quickly it gains Evo from low upgrades to high upgrades. But a lot of these prize cars have been pretty decent. Either they have built-in lobby advantage, or they can get it with high Evo simply because they're 6-second cars. There's at some point it's going to have high Evo compared to other competition. But you know, the Voodoo unfortunately just isn't able to do that. It's not very high in Evo when you fully max it. It's basically, I believe, and somebody mentioned this in one of my older videos comments, I think when I did the My Take, that it's probably just a reskin of the Viper ACR Extreme Aero, which sounds about right to me. It makes sense. So if it's just a reskin of that car, that used to be a very slow car. Even if they buffed it, it still wouldn't be that quick. So if the Voodoo is a reskin, the Voodoo, assuming it's the buffed version of the ACR Extreme Aero, it's just going to be a mediocre car. One thing about the Extreme Aero you should know is it can beat dyno by quite a bit if you tune it and set it up properly. So I would not necessarily bet money against a Voodoo or the ACR if you run into one in the lobby. If somebody figured out how to set that up and was willing to expend all their Dodge fusions and all that cash to do it, they'll have a dyno beater on their hands that potentially could wreck you in the slower lobbies for 200K. So keep that in mind at least. But am I going to build this Voodoo? No. It's a waste of resources for me. It's going to stay stock until it gets used in some other event. Now, on the other hand, I absolutely enjoy using the Charger Red Eye. It's a very good car. In fact, it does very well overall in all types of live racing. So it's a good car there. And the other one that's pretty good is the Challenger. I believe it's a drag pack. That's a pretty decent car. Unlike the Challenger Demon, which unfortunately isn't that good, the drag pack actually is pretty decent. So, but the Demon again is fine for something like this. And I've seen people use the Demon in live for swapping, so it's nothing wrong with that for that purpose. Just don't expect it to do well head-to-head against most of the cars in its lobby. All right, and that's it. That was a quick and easy relay. 8 gold keys, of course, not 10. I don't remember if I got 2 gold keys earlier to make that a solid 10 or not. At this point, I don't really care. Gold keys are gold keys. The more the merrier. Now, one thing I do have to say, out of all the cars out there, if I can own the Dodge Viper Voodoo that you see here in that setup and that look, I absolutely would. I mean, it's a beautiful car. And it's one of those cool cars that would turn heads no matter where you take it. It doesn't even have to be fast in real life for me to enjoy it. I would drive this to Cars and Coffee, and you know people will be checking it out because it's just a cool looking car. And the Viper's always had that presence. That's the beauty of the Viper. Nobody looks at a Viper and go, oh yeah, that car sucks. They look at the Viper and go, wow, that car looks great. And it looks mean. It has the whole Viper theme going for it. Great car, but it's no... it's unfortunately no good when it comes to competition in the game. Now, back to what I was saying earlier, the 1400 reward, the Charger Captive, will be a fast car, and you're going to need it to go through the Colorado leg. So save your Dodge Fusions. If you had to skip, well, of course, the event's gone. I finished it. If you had to skip the Enigma event to make sure you're geared up better for the Showdown and the eventual Colorado leg, definitely do that. The Buick GNX is probably going to be a good car. I don't know for sure. I haven't tested it, but it might be good. And we know the ACR Voodoo 2 is bad. So that is the end of the Enigma event. I hope you liked the video. Again, this car is going to get parked. And, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like to see these kind of videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get notified when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.